It'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
We're going to get started now with Casey Mears, who has come by to visit with those of you here in the media center. I'm going to ask the folks in the back of the room to please hold the volume down as we get started here. Casey, first things first. I know there's some news going around, but you had a big top 5 last week in Infineon. We'll start out with that.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely something that the team needed. Good strategy, obviously, and I think that we had a good car. And fortunately, there at the end, a couple guys, took themselves out there at the end. So it was a good, solid day for us. Something we really needed. It's been a long year so far. It's been a short first part of the season, but definitely a long season. And it was definitely something the team needed. I needed the whole program.
Sounds good. We'll go straight to questions. Please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation. Who's got the first question? Looks like Marty Smith.
Pull the gun out, Marty.
You got it, brother. Here it comes. It was announced you're leaving the 5. What is your reaction to this, and how long have you known?
I've known now for a couple weeks. Rick and I sat down and had a talk. Right now, we didn't know exactly how things were going to play out, so we haven't really jumped around to make any conclusions right away. But it's disappointing. I'd love to be there. Obviously, Hendrick Motorsports is a great organization. We've definitely had a rough year for probably several reasons, but everybody's worked hard. Alan, Rick, myself, everybody's worked very hard to try to do what we can do to help improve the program, and just haven't had the luck. Had some bad luck at the beginning of the year, and then had some bad runs to back it up. And I think that frustrating that we've had the start to the season that we had. Fortunately, it's kind of weird because we still have the second half of the year. It's everything's happened so early, but the big thing is I think that obviously we got a lot of potential still. I don't feel a whole lot differently about the team or the organization or the guys than I did at the beginning of the year. I feel like every week we have the opportunity to capitalize on a good finish, and for some reason we just really struggled. The team as a whole, and then us seem to struggle a little bit more the latter part of the second half of this or the first half of the season, and it's unfortunate that things have kind of come out the way they have, but at the same time things happen for a reason, and just try to finish off the rest of this year as strong as we possibly can, and really no hard feelings I don't think towards anybody right now. Everybody's just going to be working hard and trying to get good finishes, because at this point it doesn't do anybody any good to worry about what's going on and not focus on the remainder of the season. So we're just going to continue to work hard on that and see what happens for next season.
Let me tell you before we go any further that if you have questions for Casey, go ahead and ask him here. He's got to get out as soon as he finishes his media availability, so there will be no one-on-ones. Go ahead, Jim, then we'll come back to Claire, and then Jim.
Casey, over the years that what was the 25 team at Hendrick and now the 5, they just, for whatever reason you touched upon, just never really been able to get that consistent, really good finishes. Is there anything organizationally that you can point to that kind of sets that car apart from the other 3 and leads to any problems in terms of performance?
Well, I think that the biggest thing is that's probably one of the most difficult things. For all of us, there's no real one place you can point the finger and say, hey, this is bad. And it's funny. It's I think if you did this with a lot of teams, if you analyzed really how their whole season played out, you could look at 4 races right now that we wrecked out or just got in an issue that really wasn't our fault. We'd be sitting about 12th or 15th in the points right now, and we probably wouldn't be having this conversation, So it's just, we've struggled a little bit as a whole this year with the new car, and it seemed like Junior and Jimmy had kind of grabbed a hold of it a little bit better as far as those teams, performing on a weekly basis. And, if you look at all of us, we've struggled at times, and I think that the races that we had good races going, unfortunately, we had an issue. and it's made us look worse than we are this year. So, it's frustrating because of that reason. I don't think that there's a hoax or a problem with the 5 team, or anything like that transferred over from the 25. It's just really some hard luck at the beginning of the year, and then we backed it up with some bad runs. Fortunately, we had a good run at Sonoma. The team's got a lot of potential. I mean, we're there. As far as you look at Darlington, I thought we had one of the fastest cars out on the racetrack. We made one decision, on a setup, and we fell back to 21st. We went back on that change in the pit stop, and we were driving right back up to the top 5, and we had a header blow off of all things and blow out the left front tire, and we've never seen that happen. We just had some stuff like that happen this season. And at the end of the day, this is a performance-based sport. I mean, it's my uncle's always said you got to put the numbers on the board, and that's how you keep your job and keep your ride. And unfortunately, for a few different reasons, we just haven't been able to do that this season. And it's kind of funny because I say that now, but we still have the whole second half of the year to work on. So I think we can have some good performances here for the years out. The best thing that I want to do is get this 5-car back up as high as we possibly can in the points. Get some good finishes for myself, and hopefully get a good opportunity for next season.
Go ahead, Claire.
Claire Belang, XM Satellite Radio. Can you talk a little bit about the market for a Casey Mears right now? Dominoes are falling, things you're looking at, agents you've hired. I mean, what's the market for you right now?
There actually is some good opportunities out there right now. Pleasantly surprised. You don't really think about it a whole lot. I wasn't thinking about it a whole lot going into this next year. Just wasn't in that mindset, but definitely talking to different people. There are some good opportunities out there. I'm looking forward to having more discussions to see how that's going to play out. But as of right now, I don't have enough details to really discuss, but am pleasantly surprised with the opportunities that are out there.
Go ahead. We'll go Utter, David Caravallo, and then Steve Richards.
Jim Utter, Show Observer. Casey, is it a little more difficult in a situation like this where you're with a strong team with good teammates, but also the fact that these guys are also very good close friends of yours? Is it hard to separate the business, to remember that part of this, what's going on, is just business? And
it is and it isn't. I think because I got such good friends over at Hendrick Motorsports, I understand more than ever that it's business, and you can separate that. I mean, it's at the end of the day. I mean, obviously Rick's trying to run the best possible business that he can, do the best thing he can for his company. And at the same time, we're all really good friends still. So I think the fact that I do have such good relationships over there makes these conversations a little bit easier. In some respects a little bit harder, because you're leaving some good friends. But at the same time, we race around each other every single weekend, regardless of what team you're with. I mean, when I was with NASCAR, still some of the guys at Hendrick were some of my best friends. So I don't think that will change by any means. But at the same time, makes maybe some of these conversations a little bit easier, to go through. And obviously, it's disappointing. It's not exciting to be going through this again. It's been year in, year out that we've been making changes, or I've been making changes, and I'm really looking forward to finishing off the rest of the season strong. I know we can do that. I mean, everybody's got a pretty positive attitude, and it almost seems like now that people know kind of what's going on, it's almost relaxed things even more, and almost seems like it's going to go better, from here on out, just because there's the tension isn't there of wondering, what's going to happen. So, I see us, having a strong second half of this year, and hopefully from here on out get with the program where I can build a good couple seasons in a row and really build something and go from there.
David Carroll on NASCAR.com. Casey, you win the race last year in the 25 car. You get moved to the 5. I mean, halfway through the season, this announcement. I mean, do you feel like you've been given enough time? Do you feel like you've been treated fairly in this situation?
I mean, I don't know I don't know a lot of the details of what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, obviously, I think that, because we have good relationships at Hendrick Motorsports, I think Rick, out of everybody, wanted to see, a multiple-year deal and see me get some consistency. So, I mean, I think people have made decisions because they had to make decisions. I don't know why everything's gone down. That would probably be a better question for Rick and some of the guys with the team. But he understands my situation, more than anybody, and that getting some stability would be good. But obviously decisions were made for certain reasons, and like I said, it's frustrating, but at the same time, I can't control a lot of those things. So, hopefully in my future, somewhere before I'm about 45, I can get a couple years in a row. It'd be good.
We'll go Steve and